Hey guys, it's Kyla at the MJC, and I am back today to walk you through the two documents that comprise the contempt motion. So we'll get started with that in just a minute. But before we start on anything, just a reminder that nothing in this video is intended to be legal advice. It's a video, so I'm not able to analyze your specific situation to determine whether contempt is appropriate in your case, to let you know what a judge might order as far as penalties or so forth if they do find the other person in contempt. So if you have questions about those sorts of things or about what evidence you might need or anything else like that, I would definitely recommend getting some legal advice. You can get brief legal advice for free here in Milwaukee County through the Marquette Volunteer Legal Clinic. If you are not in Milwaukee County, you can contact your clerk of court to find out what sort of resources are available in your area. All right, awesome. So we'll get going with this. So the contempt forms are used when you have an existing court order and you have someone who you believe, the other person usually in the case, is intentionally not following the court order. So those are the two things. I'll get some people who say they want to do contempt, but they don't have an order yet. You do need to have an order, and you do need to have, some evidence or something that you can present to the court, whether it be testimony or evidence, that indicates that the other person is intentionally not following that order. So if you have questions about what evidence might be required, what you would need to show in court, again, you can get legal advice about that. But now let's jump into the form. So here you're going to put the county where your case is located. For most of the MJC cases we deal with, that's Milwaukee, but if your case is in a different county, you'll put in your county's name. And then here you will check marriage if your original underlying case, so the case where the order that you are trying to enforce is a divorce case, you'll check marriage. If your case is any other kind of case, so if it's a child support case, a support and maintenance case, a paternity case, then you will check paternity of, and you'll put your child's initials here. All right. Then here you're going to put the names in the order they were on the original petition in your case. If your case is a divorce case, then you'll put whoever filed for divorce, you're going to put their name on this line, and whoever was served with the divorce on this line. And I know that's really counterintuitive. A lot of people will say, well, I was the respondent in my divorce, but I'm the one asking for something now. I'm the one asking the court for an order. This first page is like the title page in a book. It just tells the court what case we're in. It doesn't tell them who's asking for what or anything like that. So this is the original order of the names. If in your divorce you were joint petitioners, you'll put whoever's name went first, whoever was joint petitioner A, and then whoever's name went second, joint petitioner B down here. In paternity cases, you're going to most commonly it's going to end up being mom's name first, dad's name second. And the reason for that is if the state of Wisconsin started your case, then they typically caption it with mom's name first, dad's name second, because theirs is formally the state v. mom and dad. But to make these forms easier to fill out, we just put mom and then dad. If you are not sure, you can get a copy of either your most recent order or your original order from the Civil Records Center in your county, and you can see what the order of the names were. You can also, if yours is available on the public access CCAP, so divorce cases would be available on that public case search CCAP, and some paternity cases are, if they've been turned into PJ cases, then you can look that information up. So we're going to put in our fictional people who were following Jane Doe and John Smith, and I'm just going to put in their information here. You'll put the address for the petitioner or joint petitioner A, and make sure this is a mailing address. So if you have a P.O. box or if you get your mail at someone else's house, you'll want to put the best place for the court to send you mail. And she's got a daytime phone as well. And we'll say there's a 19. So your case number you'll get from the you can get from the child support agency. You can also get it from any you can get it from any previous filings, anything like that. Here in Milwaukee, often the case number they give you will be 40 number, and then PA or FA, and then 6 digits at the end. We don't include the 40 because it is a number that tells child support what county this was filed in. But for the county's computers, they don't need that county code because they only have Milwaukee County. So we just put the second 2 numbers, the numbers that are in the year, and then PA or FA and these digits. If your case has a PJ at the end, oh, I'm in the wrong box. If your case has a PJ at the end, you'll include the PJ as well. Not all cases have a PJ, so if you don't see a PJ included on yours, then you don't need to put that there. And then here you'll put the other person's address as well. Or I should clarify, if you're the respondent or joint petitioner B, this might be your address, but you'll put the respondent or joint petitioner B's information. And then one other question we get with some regularity is people say, well, what do I do if I don't know the other person's address? And so as far as filling out the forms, it is okay if you don't have the other person's address. It may cause you issues when it comes to service, but this video is not about service. This is about filling out the form. So we won't get into the service issues. You can find we have other videos about service, or you can go in again to get some brief legal advice. But if you don't have the other person's address, what you can do is you can just leave that blank. So if John only knows Jane's phone number, but he doesn't know where she lives, he could just leave that whole line blank. So it would just look like that. Or if he doesn't know her phone number, it might just look like that. That's okay for the form. All right, here you'll indicate whether or not the state is a party. So has the state ever showed up in any proceedings? We find that most commonly the answer is yes, especially if you're in a paternity case. But you can go back and see if they've ever appeared previously. Here, you're going to put who it is that you want to appear in person. So if John is filling this out and he wants Jane to show up, then he'll put Jane's name here. And then you'll go down, and that is actually going to be it for this form, other than if you're able to, you will want to put the reasonable accommodation phone number if you can find that on the court's website. This section here is going to be filled in by the court. So that is all for this order to show cause for a finding of contempt. I'll be back in a little bit with the affidavit to show cause, which is the other form that is involved in the contempt paperwork. Thank you guys, as always, for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful. If you do have more questions, we can always answer those at the Milwaukee Justice Center, located in room G9 of the Milwaukee County Courthouse, at least during non-pandemic times. Until then, thank you all for watching, and go out and represent yourselves well.